March 8th of 2010, at some time before 3:53 p.m. I picked up a retail copy of the Rising Star PC game, Team Fortress 2, after hearing about it from multiple places, from a friend, to the handful of Meet the Team trailers, and to the many Gmod videos with TF2 characters in it. Yes, there was a lot even back then, when the game was out. I couldn't run the game, however, until more than a year later due to gaming PCs not being everywhere like they are nowadays. Seriously, I don't know what it was, but it was such a pain to find a good PC to run PC games on back then. But it was an even bigger pain for me in this regard because during the time when I finally find a decent enough PC, the game becomes free to play. Needless to say, I was more than a little miffed to pay for a game that becomes free despite not being able to play it at the time of paying for it, but finally being able to play it the literal day it becomes free! Anyways, do I regret my time invested? To pick the game up, to dig deep into the rabbit hole of Team Fortress 2, and play it after more than a decade later of owning it? No! Why? Team Fortress 2 was a game that got me invested into a lot of things. Team Fortress 2 was what kickstarted my passion for voice acting. Team Fortress 2 was what got me invested into the world of PC gaming. Team Fortress 2 was how I met my friends and still talk to and play with to this day. Team Fortress 2 was how I broke out of my introverted shell. Team Fortress 2 was a way of life for me. And I say this with zero hyperbole whatsoever. Team Fortress 2 is the reason I'm here today. In fact, no. Team Fortress 2 is the reason I'm even alive today. When it comes to making friends in school, I struck out badly because nobody related to what I go through in terms of playing video games and nothing more. Because to everyone, I was either just some dork who only knew how to play video games and nothing more because despite being extremely tall in everyone's eyes and, being somewhat physically fit, I wasn't exactly a big sports person, so I can't relate to any of the jocks there. And even in terms of gaming, everyone only knew how to play Xbox games. I was only into PC and Nintendo, so I could relate to even less people there. So needless to say, because of my piss-poor social skills, my piss-poor relatability, at least back then, I could not make any form of friends whatsoever. And then Team Fortress 2 started to hit the scene for me. I started to get more and more invested into it because, I played the game a lot to take my mind off of things, be it things at school, things about homework, and other personal life shit, obviously matters that are too personal to discuss, and hell, even depression, but you don't want to hear that kind of stuff. Yeah, I avoided reality just by playing video games, just like everyone else. That's what it's for, right? Jokes aside, it helped me through a lot of tough times back then, and I could not be any more thankful for it being in my life as it was then, and seeing it at the state that it's in now, being ignored by the entire team, and being plagued with bots to where the actual game is unplayable, it's depressing. It really is. Now look, I may have a funny way of showing my appreciation for this game, especially from a couple years ago when I declared that I was done with the game and I wasn't gonna make any content for it, even though I never posted anything. Look, it takes me a while to find the motivation to edit videos. I'm sorry, you guys. I love this game. Nothing's gonna change that, because it's done a lot for me. A ton of a lot of things for me. Hell, I dare even say maybe after this I might post some gameplay videos that I recorded of me and my friends just screwing around with this game. At least at the times that we could, because I do have some gameplay footage of some of the bots as well, and oh my god. I just want this game to be playable. I just want this game to have the attention that it once received many years ago. Where's the love? Where is it? Is it just gone now? And yes, I know that there are the occasional, cosmetic updates, but that doesn't mean shit. The game is unplayable in its vanilla state because of all of these robots just rampaging across the entire TF2 servers, just making it unplayable. We can't get rid of them because they'll abuse the vote kick system, and there's too many of them. We can only kick them one at a time. Oh, and also, I'm going to give a quick summary to those who don't know about what's going on with TF2 or maybe haven't played the game or haven't heard anything about it. The reason why we make a big deal about quote-unquote bots being in the game is because these bots are essentially literal robots programmed by one neckbeard in his basement that has way too much damn free time on his hands, made a buttload of Steam accounts to invade a server, and they all have cheat programs active. And they are blatant cheats, mind you. They are constantly spin botting. They are constantly aim locking you on the head as a sniper, meaning that they constantly insta-kill you before you even have a chance to react to what's going on outside. By the time you peek a corner, when a pixel of you is revealed, you're dead. Even if you find a way to combat them somehow, because there are whole teams worth of bots available on them, unfortunately, they will make the experience extremely unenjoyable because of the fact that A, they're robots, so you can't even get a reaction out of them, and B, they are programmed to say the most disgusting, incomprehensible, baity shit inside the chat every few seconds. And that's text chat, mind you. Most of the time in voice chat, they spam very obnoxious music that's either relating to their trolling or just in poor taste. Or hell, just bad music overall. The only safe haven is these community-made servers that, well, obviously the community takes into making for themselves. And even then, that's not the vanilla TF2 experience. And not every new player that picks up this game for the first time is going to know about community servers. And even if they do, not every community server follows the vanilla TF2 experience where you're just playing the base game and nothing more, or just playing by its regular rules. No, most of the time it's just completely different game modes made up by the community, like let's say for example versus Saxton or Death Run. Like, yeah, those are fun, but it's not the TF2 that we know, you know? And sure, Face It exists, but people who are extremely experienced at the game are the only ones that are picking it up. And new players are going to be thrown off by that because of the skill difference. Yeah, funny, haha, skill issue, but that is genuinely the problem. Not every new player that hops into this game is going to know how this game works or functions, or hell, even mechanically works in terms of like game modes. So how do you resolve this? By playing on the casual servers to, you know, get a little bit of experience, maybe even be familiar with how the game works, or hell, how the gunplay works. Because obviously, if they're coming in from every other shooter that exists, like Call of Duty or Apex or anything like that, the game is going to be dramatically different. Hell, you pull up to somebody that hasn't played Team Fortress 2 at all, and you just look them dead in the face and tell them that the only way to get headshots in this game is by scoping in. Not shooting from the sniper rifle, scoping in and then shooting at the head after waiting about a second for it to charge up, and then that's when a headshot kicks in, or only with the specific revolver from the spy. Is that gonna make sense to them? No, that's not. They're just gonna look at you like you're fucking cuckoo. But the only way it will make sense for them is if they actually play the game, but they literally can't. And hell, even if we do bring up community servers, and if you find any good ones, we don't even know if they're gonna be populated like how the casual servers usually are, because if you hop into a casual server, yeah, there's no doubt that it's gonna be like filled with players. But community servers, the schedule is unpredictable. It's not like how it was years ago where you could just pull up a random server from the community server list and you would just see that it's just flooded with people. No, it's not like that, unfortunately. Not anymore. Believe me, I wish it was. But things are different now, unfortunately. And you know how it is. Most of the time when you're just hopping into an empty server or a server with a couple people, you're either just screwing around to get achievements, screwing around, period. Hell, maybe even turning it into a friendly server and dancing for a little bit. And yes, that's the TF2 that we veterans know, but that's not the TF2 that new players are gonna know, you know? You're probably wondering why I'm making such a big deal about new players and not the current player base. Yes, it's important to maintain the current player base and keep our love, but we're already dedicating our love to this game. We have been. But in order to see this game flourish, you still gotta bring some new blood into it. And because of the current situation, I struggle, and I do mean struggle, to even think about recommending this game to people when they're looking for new games. It's tough. It really is. Hell, true story here. There was a time when I was in a relationship and my girlfriend was asking me like, hey, what's this game that you and your friends keep playing? And I say it's Team Fortress 2, but I can't even recommend that she tries it out because of the shit that's going on, because me and my friends already love the game. But how can I bring up everything that's going on with the game and also recommend it at the same time? I just want to see the same love be rekindled for this game like how it was back then. Like, it doesn't have to be like how it used to be, where there was updates every other week. But I just want to see something, anything, any form of communication even, saying, hey, we're working on it. Just anything from like, hey, we're working on the anti-cheat system, or hey, we're going to fix up this current issue that's plaguing you guys. I repeat myself. This game means the world to me. And it's obvious that it's still able to be played to this day. But with the state that it's in right now, can you really, truly play it? Can you truly enjoy it? Because from everyone else's point of view, it doesn't sound like we can enjoy it right now with these bots plaguing the servers. Because that's the one thing that's on our mind whenever we go to a casual server now. Is our session going to be ruined? Do we have to jump servers? Do we have to jump games? Hell, it's upsetting to me how many times I jump to a different game with other friends when we're playing TF2. All because a bot just decided to invade the server once again. The bottom line is, Team Fortress 2 means the world to me. Because it saved my fucking life. It improved my fucking life. And if it's still playable to this day, then I want it to remain in my fucking life.